All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Going live on a Friday night, cracking a cold one. Don't get it on the camera. Cracking up, Brewski. What's up? Total nonstop impact in the house. You watch GCW too? I have not watched GCW in a long time. This starts another, as goofy and awkward as this is, this starts another Flow Slam conversation. 2 years, was it last year? No. It was last year. Last year, during WrestleMania weekend, Flow Slam had just a ridiculous amount of stuff going on. I reviewed a bunch of it, not all of it. But I was watching like just hours and hours and hours and hours of wrestling over like a 5-day period, completely frying myself out. One of those many shows that I watched last year on Flow Slam during WrestleMania weekend was Joey Janela's Spring Break 1 from GCW, Game Changer Wrestling. And I don't know hardly anything about this company. I know it's an extreme company, but I know I heard recently that this I thought it was Joey Janela's company. I heard him say in an interview recently, he's like, it's not my company. Two guys just always book me and they always let me do whatever the hell I want to do. And I was like, oh wow, that's not a bad thing. But nonetheless, so I haven't seen a show since last year. And I think that was the first one, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. And I just remember it was not like this show. This show was much more violent. But I watched this show just out of the blue, like last minute, saw the card flashed up on my Twitter feed. I was like, oh, Joey Janela versus Psychosis. Check. Teddy Hart versus Jack Evans. Check. And I heard Rich Swann was going to be on the show, and I heard Marco Stunt was going to be on the show. So I was like, okay, how much is it? Oh, wait, that's right. I can use credits to watch this show. And then I shared it on Twitter, and that gives the people, anyone who took the code off of my Twitter feed, you get free 15 credits, whatever, for yourself if you're a first-time sign-up for Fight TV. And I don't watch a lot of stuff on it. I watch some Hollywood the Hollywood NWA show. I watch some stuff on there. Some other odds and ends shows I'll watch on Fight TV once in a while. Don't watch it a lot, but I've got an account and I hadn't used my credits since I got the account like last year. So I was like, oh, well, what the hell? I'll use them. I've been waiting for like a really big show to blow them on. You couldn't use them during, well, you could have used them during All In, but the pay-per-view was actually cheaper than the Fight TV version. So I got the pay-per-view and I still have it on my DVR. But anyways, I'm rambling. It's Friday night. I've had a couple beers. We're just kicking back. Demon Rocks is in the chat. What does he have to say tonight? It was okay. I don't like Joey Janela. You don't like Joey Janela? Hey, it's okay. It's like when I have conversations with people about Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan is not everybody's cup of tea, but he's headlining everywhere. So, hey, maybe the people that don't like him someday will like him. Same with you, Demon Rocks. Maybe someday you'll like Joey Janela too, and his shades, and his valet. So yeah, let's talk about this. We could talk about Joey Janela first. We'll get that out of the way for the people that don't like Joey Janela. Just messing with you, Demon Rocks. You're a good viewer. I appreciate you. It was one of the headlining matches, Psychosis versus Joey Janela. And this, I was assuming, was not going to be one of the more extreme, violent matches. Joey Janela's on this, I don't know what it's called, something with the Legends Tour, something. He's been having matches recently with, what do they say, like 1990s wrestlers or something. So I was like, wow, a legendary lucha libre guy like Psychosis fighting a guy like Joey Janela. And I'm sure Joey Janela got a lot more fans over the course of All In weekend fighting oh God, Adam Page. I almost said Jack something. I don't know. I'm just tired. Oh, geez. But I was like, yeah, what the hell? This should be good. Unfortunately, this is a pretty big, huge, pretty huge. Unfortunately, this match was cut way short from what I'm assuming it was supposed to go. At one point where things really started to go high flying, Joey Janela was on the top turnbuckle, dove to the outside for a crossbody on top of Psychosis, and apparently tore his knee up. To the extent we don't know yet. But it was shortly thereafter that the match ended. Joey Janela won. He beat Psychosis with a big super kick, along with a little bit of interference from Penelope Ford, which apparently she does a lot. She did it All In too. So okay, Demon Rocks. I gotcha. Ended it quite quickly. Grabbed a mic, was sitting down, and the look on his face is indescribable. He just was like, really, you could tell he was visibly upset. And he just kept apologizing to the crowd, like, I am so sorry, guys. I messed my knee up. I don't know how bad I messed my knee up, but I think I really messed it up good this time. It was when I jumped off the top turnbuckle to the outside, and I'll be back. I just don't know when. He said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said basically that. And like he said at the start of that little speech, just when it seems like the momentum gets going, then all of a sudden, boom, the momentum's gone. And it does seem like that so many times with, anyone all of a sudden starting to get that momentum going, that rise to the top, rise in popularity, and then it's pulled out from underneath them. Hopefully he's just gone a few months, some rehab, maybe some very, very minor surgery. Probably the best we can hope for at this point. If he knows he wrecked it really good, who knows? I'm sure we'll find out from his social media somewhere within the next week whenever he sees a doc and has the full MRI or whatever. So, do Joey a favor. He's one of the hardest working guys out there. The guy's going to be gone for a while. He's going to have med bills up the ass. Go buy one of his t-shirts. Go hit him up on, was it Pro Wrestling Tees? It's the least I can say for someone who's really quickly gaining my respect in the wrestling industry. And I know he's a hard worker. And hey, I mean, it also puts a huge question mark on everywhere else he is as far as being a champ and whatnot. He's champ down in Evolve. Oh no, it's not the Evolve. No, it's the what is it? The WWN champ. And that's kind of like the top of a bunch of different branches. The FIP, the ACW, Evolve. He defends it in several other companies under the WWN flag. Style Battle is another one, I think. Oh, man. So, yeah. Let's hope Joey Janela has a quick recovery from getting banged up tonight. It's a shame. I'm sure Psychosis was upset, too, because he... what's that? Do you have to pay? So I'll give you $20 to watch Shimmer. What? Oh. I'll look up and see when it is. I've watched a couple of those shows, and I always confuse them, either Shine or Shimmer. They're both under the WWN brand. I've watched a few of them. I used to watch them a lot when Flow Slam was on. Then Flow Slam went under, and then I didn't watch any for a while. But I catch them here and there. But yeah, those women do kick ass. And let's go back to the beginning of this show here. Starts out with a tribute to Nate Hatred. And I apologize. I'm not familiar with this guy. Apparently was Blood, Sweat, Tears part of the early days of Extreme Wrestling and or this company. So they say some words about him. And we get into the first match, Jimmy Lloyd versus PCO. PCO, oh, okay. Thank you. I'll try to check it out sometime. PCO it looked like he was a champion on here, but I didn't catch I thought it was GCW champion, but apparently he's not. That's Nick Gage. He defends his championship later. So PCO had some belt with him. I didn't catch which belt it was. Someone could tell me in the chat if they know. PCO has been on just a rampage lately across the indies. He's getting a breath of fresh air to his career. He's everywhere. He's all over the place. Just saw him in MLW. His Twitter feed is always blowing up with where he's at. He's got a YouTube channel that he's throwing crazy ass Frankenstein-like workout videos where he's getting electrocuted and stuff. He's just everywhere. And Jimmy Lloyd is also making a name for himself across the indie scene, mostly on the East Coast, I think, in extreme shows and stuff like that. Last time I saw Jimmy Lloyd, God, I don't even remember who was the last time I saw him. It was some indie show on Flow Slam, I think a couple years ago. Man, he's like lost weight. He's lost a lot of weight. So, but these two had a pretty good match. PCO puts him away. A tombstone pile driver through a door on the outside of the ring. Was it outside of the ring? No, it was in the ring. God, there was like so much ridiculous stuff going on tonight. I only took so many notes. I think this one was in the ring. Through the door was set up on chairs, and it was one of the few doors that was not covered in barbed wire. But PCO gets a win here over Jimmy Lloyd, holds up his title, whatever title it is. Thank you, Demon Rocks. Appreciate it. Then we get just a crazy ass hardcore match between Nate Webb, and I don't know some of these guys, so you'll have to excuse me. You know, I'm sure they've made a name for themselves here and there. I just don't know them because I don't watch a lot of deathmatch stuff. Nate Webb versus Tony Deppen. Or is this? Oh no, this isn't the match I'm thinking of. That match was later. Nate Webb, Spider Nate Webb, excuse me, comes out with a win here. He did okay. This is the one where he, like, before the match started, they played his music a couple times, and he ran all through the crowd a couple times, upstairs, downstairs, drinking a beer. And then they tried to get Tony Deppen to do that, and he didn't want to. He was just pissed off. He just wanted to fight. Well, he ends up losing to Nate. Then they took this crazy-ass group picture in the ring where everybody was, like, drinking a beer or something. I don't know. So, yeah, that was kind of goofy. Then we had Jack Evans versus Teddy Hart. This is one of the main reasons I watch this show, because I have just a huge amount of respect for Jack Evans. I haven't watched probably half of his matches. But I became a big fan of his through watching Lucha Underground over the last 4 seasons. And because unless you're watching some deep, dark indies somewhere lately over the last few years, you don't see his stuff. At least I don't know where he's been. I mean, I see his name out there a lot here and there, but I just haven't seen his matches. And but I got a huge amount of respect for him all the way back to Wrestle Society X is where I first saw him on good old MTV when they had wrestling on there for a cup of coffee. Demon. And Teddy Hart, you know, I haven't seen a ton of his indie stuff, but he's been on this rebound lately, trying to get the respect back for his name, putting in the work, whatnot. And what did they say before this started? They have not faced each other on American soil in over 10 years. Something to that effect. So, did you know LA Park was Parka at WCW? Yes, I watched WCW way back in the day. Yes, right around the time of the Attitude Era. Yes. Great match between Jack Evans and Teddy Hart. Both, by the time they were done, could barely walk. They really clobbered the shit out of each other. Teddy Hart comes off with a win with an avalanche Canadian destroyer. That's what they called it. Oh, my God. Yeah, Jack Evans could barely move, could barely walk at the end. My goodness. These two killed each other. So much respect. Jeez Louise. Teddy Hart's killing it. He's also got the new Hart Foundation in MLW, making a name for themselves there. The next generation of Hart Foundation. Pretty cool. Next, we get an appearance from Bulldozer Matt Tremont, who announces that he's back in GCW after being gone for almost a year. I guess I've seen him wrestle a few times in like House of Hardcore here and there, and I've heard he's quite the hardcore icon. And so apparently he took a break from doing that for a while to just give his body a rest. And apparently, well, he's back. So cutting a promo, just saying he's back in the company. Crowd's all fired up. So it's a great return for him, which is, interesting because now Joey Janela looks like he's going away for a while. So, hey, at least you got a return of someone who sounds like the crowd loves in this company. So, tit for tat, I guess. That's the way life goes, unfortunately. Crazy. Okay, then we get a oh goodness, fuckery board death match. They had a door that they said was haunted. That was hilarious. They had doors with barbed wire wrapped around them. They had a door with, or a board with a bunch of mouse traps nailed to them, all set to go off. They had a board with saws. I don't know how they were attached to it, but they were blades sticking up. Just a crazy amount of doors and boards and weapons with sharp things sticking out of them. Just cuckoo. This one really got bloody. This was Marcus Crane versus G Raver. And I think one of the commentary guys said that this was kind of an upset that Marcus won this one. But yeah, this one got bloody. This one just went all over the place. Then was an entertaining fatal four-way. Which is one of the few reasons I actually wanted to watch this show was Marco Stunt versus a bunch of names that I didn't know, but I got to know them pretty quickly from watching this. Matt Travis versus Gringo Loco versus KTB. And I put in the chat, because they weren't saying on commentary who he was or what his name was. So I wrote in the chat, what in the blue hell is a KTB? Which few people replied, Kyle the Beast. So, okay, KTB is Kyle the Beast. I learned something this evening. I actually learned a lot, but all sorts of size guys. KTB being the biggest, down to Marco Stunt, who is like, he looks like he's like 4 foot nothing, 50 pounds soaking wet. This guy made a name for himself at another GCW show, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was right before All In. Some buzz started going around the interwebs, and all of a sudden, boom, like a week before All In, his name gets booked on the show. And it's like, who's this kid? And that thing, I shouldn't say I think. I know I'm not the only one that said that. What in the blue hell is a Marco Stunt? Do a little searching. Oh, he was in this match blah, 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 like I just said. So watching this kid dive off the top rope, run like 100 miles an hour off the ropes, getting twisted, turned, slammed, thrown. Oh my God. I don't know how old this kid is. He looks like he's 15, and I know he's not. He's probably like 21. But damn. This kid, is he going to live to see 25? I see his dad promoting him on Twitter. That always makes me happy when I see like parents of these wrestlers who are making a name for himself, like the Young Bucks. They have all the support in the world from Mama and Papa Buck. I'll just call him that. Well, I know the one, their dad is called Papa Buck on Twitter. But when you've got the support of your parents, and it's even shows on social media, that means something. That's cool. You know, that's evidence. It's there. You see it. You can read it. You can believe it. It's awesome. So, hey, hats off to this kid. He gets a solid win in this, a surprising, I'd call it an upset. I mean, obviously the odds were against this kid. Jeez Louise. Marco Stunt gets a win. What is next here? Okay, then we get Rich Swann versus the GCW champion, Nick Gage. Now, I have heard of Nick Gage, but I have not seen him wrestle before. I know he's like one of the king of the death match guys currently. And that's really all I know about him. I haven't seen a lot of his stuff. I hear things. I see things, I hear things. And but I was really curious to see what he'd do against a guy like Rich Swann. And seeing Rich Swann in an environment like this, it doesn't bother me. It's like, hey, look, even Psychosis was at a show like this, you know. Rich Swann just doing his thing, just having a good time. Coming out the Lionel Richie made me feel really flippin' old, you know. I was probably barely 10 years old when this song came out, and just grooving in my head like, oh, now they're getting violent. Oh crap. Okay, I'm not going to enjoy the song anymore. But this was Nick Gage's house, and Rich Swann felt that pretty damn quick when people were done cheering for him at the end of his Lionel Richie music. Nick came in, he's like, this is my house, you know, kind of like Paige, only not quite as sexy. I kid. But yeah, Nick Gage comes out with a win. A sit-down driver into a door. So not the only driver through a door in this event. This was crazy. And this one didn't get all crazy, bloody like some of the other ones did. But obviously he looked like he had it in him to really tear some shit up. So and from what it sounds like, he's already got someone to defend it against next, considering the last match. And we'll get to that in a little bit. Already talked about the Joey Janela Psychosis match. It's a damn shame about Joey Janela. They had to end the match early and whatnot. Then the main event before, I guess, what was the after party? It was a little hard to tell where the event ended and the after party began, but I thought that This last match was actually sounded like it was part of the after party, but it wasn't. It was just a main event. And then they were supposed to have a match or two in the after party that did not get shown on Fight TV, unfortunately. I felt like that would have been nice considering, the event got cut short because of Joey Janela getting injured, but it is what it is. I'm not upset. I basically saw it for free. It is what it is. And I'm reviewing it. I enjoyed it. Considering I don't watch a lot of deathmatch stuff. There was all sorts of good stuff in this event. So then at the very end of the cast, there was a no ropes barbed wire death match between two more new guys that I've never seen before, Eric Ryan and Schlack. Schlack? I guess his name is Schlack. But I'm not going to make fun of him or his name because he looks like he could kill me like 10 times over. And then wrap my body in barbed wire and then, put me over a barbecue or something. And then eat me for dinner. He just looks like that type of guy. This one got bloody. This one got crazy. Went up on the stage, all over the place. I don't know how many dozens of chairs got broken, destroyed. They found some more doors underneath the ring that didn't get used in the other match, covered in barbed wire. They got destroyed. Schlack and Eric Ryan went through those. Then at one point, Schlack took wire cutters and started cutting the barbed wire from around the ring, and it started whipping into the audience because the audience was like right there up against the ring, which I'm glad I was watching from where I was because I would not have been comfortable at ringside considering bodies and chairs and shit was flying everywhere. Not knocking these guys. It's just not a show that I would have enjoyed live unless I was like sitting up in the balcony probably. But then, Marco Stunt probably would have, leapt off my bald ass head into the crowd and I would have been hurt anyways. So, but yeah, this one just got crazy. Barbed wire ended up getting raked across Eric Ryan's face. Oh my God, just crimson mask. They both ended up getting crimson masks covered in blood. Schlack ends up with a win. And from the commentary and Nick Gage, the champ, being on commentary, it sounds like he wouldn't mind facing Schlack next in defending his GCW championship. So yeah, crazy ass event. I was 10-2. Okay. So, oh, you were 10 back then. Oh my goodness. So you're like about my age. You're like 40 something. Interesting. All right. Oh, so yeah, that's pretty much it for this. It's late. And, yeah, I mean, for what it was worth, I really have nothing to complain about. I used credits to watch this. I had nothing else to do. 10 going on 11. He's so goofy, this guy. I love him. I used credits to watch this, and I hope. Good night, Demon. Have a good one. Take care. Have a good weekend. I hope someone or maybe one or two people used the code that I put up on Twitter last minute to watch this event. So, hey, it was all right. I hope Joey Janela gets healed up soon. And so, yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't watch a lot of extreme deathmatch stuff. even though there was a little bit of everything in here as far as decent wrestling from legends like Teddy Hart and Jack Evans, all the way down to barbed wire deathmatch stuff. Did I become a diehard fan of this company overnight? No, but I got my money's worth out of it and I enjoyed it. So, yeah, you can go check it out on Fight TV. I don't know if you can use my code to watch the replay. I'm not sure if that's a viable thing, but hey, nonetheless, that's my thoughts on this event. What else is coming up soon? Ringmasters. The next episode airing tomorrow morning. I might review it tomorrow night. We'll see what's happening. Not sure what's all going on. And then probably take off Sunday and come back Monday for hashtag MLW Mondays. The next part of the War Games Facade is up. I have to catch up on that. So have a great weekend, folks. We'll be doing Ring Warriors next, reviewing that show. Should be very interesting to see what Austin Aries is doing with the Impact Wrestling Championship on another show. Good night, folks. Don't forget to smash that like button, smash that sub button if you're new, and if you dig the content, there's plenty more of this where it came from, and ring that bell for notifications. We'll see you soon, folks. Good night.